Welcome to the session on mobile agents. In this session, we will look at what is a mobile agent and what is the role played by mobile agent in providing seamless user experience. Mobile agents. Now, before we get into the details and workings of mobile agent, let us look at how a client server application works. Now, in a client server application, you have a client and you have a server, that is, you have a client device or a client application and you have a server device and server application. The client issues a request to the server processes it and gives the response back to the client. The best example of this would be an email application. Let us take an example of Gmail. Now, you have a Gmail web client. You have a Gmail account, so you log on into the Gmail web client and you send and receive mails through that web client. At the back end of the web client, you have the mail servers. Now, these mail servers are the servers which actually take your mail, send it to the destination and accept mails on your behalf. So, basically you have a client which talks to the mail server and sends the mail and receives the mail. Another example could be Outlook. Now, you configure Outlook on your desktop. Now, Outlook is a mail client. Whenever you want to send or receive a mail, first step you do is you configure your email account and then you create or compose a mail and you send a mail. Now, when you compose a mail and you send it, Outlook contacts the mail server. In this case, it would be an SMTP server and sends the mail. Similarly, when it wants to receive a mail or retrieve the mail, it will contact a POP3 server, that is a Post Office Protocol 3 server, download the mails on your desktop. Now, these are examples of client server application. Now, let us see how this extends to a mobile environment. Now, when we talk of a mobile environment or a mobile device, you have a mobile working as a client or playing the role of a client. Now, you want to access email using mobile. Now, most of the modern mobile operating systems come with their own email client inbuilt. So, you do not have to download a special application for that. Now, what you do? You configure the email client to connect to your mail server, let us say a Gmail server again. So, you give in your user login, you give in the password, you configure the SMTP IDs and you configure the POP IDs and then you start the application. Now, when you start the application, your email client will connect to the Gmail server, download the mails and display it for you. Similarly, when you compose an email and you send it, the client on your mobile device will connect to the SMTP server and send the mail. Now, this was client server application and how it works in a desktop environment and how it works in a mobile environment. Now, let us go a step further. Today, we have mobile applications which are so complex that you can do almost any activity using your mobile device and you do not need a laptop or a desktop. Now, when I say this, what it means is today using your mobile device, let us say a handset or even a tab which is connected onto the mobile network or is connected onto the network using Wi-Fi connection. Now, using this device, you can practically do any activity that you would do using your desktop or a laptop. That means using these devices you can send and receive emails, you can create documents, edit documents, create and edit spreadsheets, prepare presentation, and in some cases you can even run your presentation on a projector using your mobile device. So what I am saying over here is, now your mobile device has become a very complex system. Another extension of this is, using your mobile device you can connect onto your office intranet. So that means today you don't have to be in office to be productive. You can be anywhere in the world, and from any location in the world you can access your office network, you can access the files which are stored in the servers in your office network. So basically today the environment is such that you can work from anywhere. Most of the companies today are allowing their employees to get their own devices. So how does this benefit the company? Now when an employee gets his own device, especially a mobile device or a tab, and he is configured to work on the office environment, the employee can be productive from any location in the world. So today you don't need an employee to be present at his desk to work and to be productive and to deliver result. One major advantage this brings is, one, it is a huge cost saving for the organization, because the organization now does not have to invest in the equipments. Similarly, in big cities, lot of time is spent in traveling and time is wasted while waiting for traffic to clear. Now if a person is working from home, this time is saved. The frustration on account of having to travel a long distance and getting caught in the traffic is saved, so an employee is always fresh and can be more productive. Now work from anywhere has its own challenges. Now what we have seen over here is, in order to access the network, the employee or the user could be using mobile network or could be using Wi-Fi network. We will focus more on mobile networks. Now mobile network has its own limitations. Now the limitations will be in terms of the speed of the network. For example, today we have 3G and 4G connections, but the 3G and 4G connections are not available throughout the network footprint. There are some areas where you get 3G or 4G connections and some areas where you still get edge connections. Now depending upon where you are located, how far you are from the nearest cell site will determine the speed that you get. This is point number 1. Point number 2 is the handset itself, the handset or the tab itself and its computing power. That will also have limitations on what activities you can perform. Now given these limitations, a user may not be able to get the full benefit of working from home. For example, if the user was in his company network, that is, he was in his office using his company network, using the laptop, he could have accessed many more applications, he could have got a high speed connection, and he could access applications of the company which require very intensive computing. Now because of the network constraints and the device constraints, when the employee is away from the office, he may not be able to take full benefit of the resources which are available to him in the office. Now how does he be productive in this case? Now this is where the mobile agents come in. Now before we get into the details of mobile agents, Let us quickly recap what happens when a mobile handset moves from its home network to a foreign network, or what is known as a roaming network. Now, in home network, we have a home agent which interfaces with the mobile handset and provides all the services to the handset. When the mobile moves on to another network, you have a foreign agent which basically interfaces with that mobile handset and provides the service to the mobile handset as if it was in a home location. Now, what is important to focus on over here is the term agent. Now, in this case, we saw two agents, home agents and foreign agents. Now, these agents, home agents and foreign agents, are basically applications residing on the base station switch. So, basically they will lie at BTS and they will interface with the mobile devices. So, the role of the agent over here was to provide service, the connectivity service to the mobile handset. We borrow the same principle and concept to provide seamless connectivity and services to the mobile handsets. Now, when I am talking about mobile handsets, I am actually talking about seamless connectivity and access to services to the end user. And these entities which help achieve this objective are called mobile agents. So, basically mobile agents are software code which reside on some server. Now, these agents basically work on behalf of a client. So, they take request from the client, process the request. Now, when we say process the request, they take the request from the client, determine what that request is all about, then determine which is the server which will be able to satisfy their request, contact that server, process the data, process whatever information is provided and provide response back to the client. Now, what benefit does this mechanism give to the end user? Now, if you recall, I mentioned that the agents are software entities which reside on some application server or they reside on some server. So, that means the processing now does not happen on the handset, it happens on some remote host. Now, what is the role of handset in this case? The role of the handset is to just provide the request and take the response. So, handset is now free from computing. That means now I do not need to have a great computing power at the handset. This entire thing is now taken care of by the server. So, the benefit mobile agents offer to a user is that in order to be productive, in order to access complex applications, you do not need a complex hardware. So, in summary, mobile agents are software codes which run on some host or some server and they do processing on behalf of the mobile user or the mobile handset. Having said that, mobile agents also have another unique characteristic. Mobile agents are not static entities. So, when we say mobile agents are not static entities, what it means is that the mobile agent may be residing on one host, but they have a flexibility of migrating to another host. That means a mobile agent can move from host to host, and all the while they provide connectivity to the end user. That means if they are running on host 1, they will provide the services to the end user. Then if they migrate on host 2, then once the migration part is complete, they will continue to provide service to the end user. The question that now comes is, why do we need this migration? Why should a mobile agent move from host to host? Let us take a scenario. You are in your home network and you are accessing your company network and you are doing processing. Now, you are required to travel to some city B, now which is outside the network coverage, and it is a different network coverage where you will be an in roaming customer. Now, when you travel to that city and you connect onto the network and you connect onto your company network to process information, now what will ideally happen? Your device will contact the agent. Now, this agent, if it is not mobile, will be residing in your home network. So, now the communication will be your handset will connect to the foreign agent, foreign agent will contact home agent will then connect with your mobile agent will process the data, give the result to the home agent, which will then send it to the foreign agent, and then it comes to you. Now, there will be another latency which will be introduced over here, which is the latency to connect to the mobile agent, because now it is going through the foreign agent and home agent. Now, this latency could be cut down if the mobile agent itself migrates to a location which is close to the foreign agent. So, the benefit this will provide to the end user is the latency on account of connecting to the mobile agent will be reduced. So, this is the benefit of mobility of the agent. Another way in which the mobile agent could be used is the mobile agent requires, depending upon the environment in which it is deployed, may require large amount of data and may require large network bandwidth. Now, if you are in a network which has poor coverage or has low speeds, let us say you are far away from the BT, and because of that you are getting 2G connectivity instead of 3G or 4G. Now, in such cases, if the mobile agent is located in a region where it is getting high speed, then you do not have to waste lot of time waiting for the response. That means, if the mobile agent is in a location where it has got good connectivity, it can carry out its activity with least possible delay and just give you a response, which will take minimum bandwidth, as opposed to the case when the mobile agent itself is located in an area which has low network connectivity, low network speed. Then if the mobile agent requires large amount of bandwidth, then the entire processing time will shoot up and you will have to wait for a long period to get the response. So, another advantage offered by mobile agent is that you can migrate, that is the system will automatically migrate the mobile agent to an area where it will get the best possible connectivity to do its job. So, at the end, the overall experience for the end user will be unhampered. That is, he will not realize that mobile agent is actually migrating to an area where it has got good connectivity, performing its job and giving it the reply. Now, these are the benefits which are offered by mobile agents. In summary, mobile agents are software codes which run on the host server and they work in a distributed computing environment to provide seamless services to the end user. Thank you for attending the session on mobile agents.